First of all, like King David, wipe out your enemies completely. Why are we waiting to remove our enemies? There should be no enemy of Israel, not in our land, not next to our land, and not anywhere in this world. We have to be stronger in our land than we've been. But also we have to be more compassionate, which we haven't been. We kind of look at the Palestinian problem as like, oh, well, you can't blame the consequences of the wars that were waged by the surrounding Arab countries on Israel. And then on top of that, you guys have denied every single peace accord. You guys have rejected any option of having communication. You guys are radicalizing your population. So you suffer the consequences of your actions. That's the mentality. And although that is true, that these are the consequences of the things that have happened, with the power comes the responsibility to fix. And that's exactly what we need to realize. We didn't create the problems of the Palestinians, but today we have the ability, thus the responsibility to correct it. And when we look at Palestinians that are suffering in the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, in refugee camps by the hundreds of thousands in Lebanon and in Jordan, dying by the thousands in the Syrian civil war, suffering in Gaza by the millions, we didn't create that, but we have a responsibility to fix it. And if the experience that Palestinians had in Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, and in Gaza towards Israel was one that is harsh against those who break the law, but extremely caring for those who don't, and for those who live good, innocent lives. We invested in education, in infrastructure, in job opportunities, in roads, in creating water resources, in recycling plant, to treat the water so that we have even more water, and all these things that Israel has already done for its own country. If Palestinians experience this country as one that cares for them, that takes care of their needs, that wants their lives to be elevated, you could not manipulate Palestinians anymore and do what Hamas has been doing, which is to tell them that the source of your suffering is Israel, if the source of their suffering is the opposite of Israel. If that experience was changed for the course of 10 years, you can see a shift of the culture, which has to start first in the land and then would be exported elsewhere. And we can see many examples of that. You look at Nazi Germany, killed 6 million Jews, wanted to kill the rest. 10 years later, was supporting the state of Israel. You look at El Salvador, 2015, the most dangerous country in the world. 8 years later, one of the safest countries in the world. You look at China and Japan, hated each other for many, many years. You look at Germany and France. You look at the Vikings and the British. Do these people, these civilizations hate each other? No, things have changed because the conditions have changed. So it's not from now to 10 years it'll change because of the years. It's from now to 10 years it'll change if we make the right steps and create the right conditions to be able to transcend this conflict. It is doable. And the only way to do it is to recognize that there are needs on both sides, and you can bring those needs together. And until we do that, we will always be met with this rejection from the Palestinian side until we make them a part of our story.
I love that. And I love the examples you've brought in around other countries showing very clear signs of change, but we have to actually make that change happen and be strong enough to do it.